Hello everyone, I'm Jay and welcome to my channel again. And most recently, lots of my friends are calling me and asking, what electric vehicle should I buy? Not me, them, right? I've been driving Tesla Model 3 and they're asking, what should they buy? Because they have some government grants or, the salary sacrifice scheme or something else. But they have an option to buy an EV, right? So they're asking me, what should they buy? It's an easy choice for me. I would say, if you can afford it, just go with a Tesla, whichever the one you can afford. Tesla has recently reduced the prices as well. That might help. Model 3 standard rear wheel drive is around just 42K if you can afford it, as I said, right? But question here is, obviously lots of people calling me, they would like to know the other options, or they would like my opinion on other options apart from Tesla, because they know I would be advising Tesla, right? So here is what I would say, right? Look at your driving. Where are you going? Are you just commuting, or is it just for city driving, or do you do long drives as well, or is your workplace a bit longer? You have 1 hour, 1.5 hour drive to your workplace. Usually most of the commuting is shorter, half an hour or within the city and things like that. So if you look at your driving, if it's just for commuting purposes, any EV will do, right? Most EVs now have an average, let's say 200-250 mile range on paper. In realistic, you're looking at 150 maybe. So that should do fine, any EV. So, and based on your own research or the brand image, you could be going, Volkswagen, Audi, or Peugeot, or something else. All the vendors now have their own EV versions, right? So, yeah, any EV will do if it's just for commuting. But if you have the long drives involved, or if you're going on a frequent long trips, road trips, then I would absolutely recommend a Tesla, right? The reason for that is Tesla, you have higher range, accurate technology, and most importantly, and the superior thing Tesla has to any other EV manufacturer is the infrastructure, the charging network they have is unmatchable, right? So I have done a couple of times a drive from Aberdeen to Birmingham, or maybe even further. Once you get on the motorway, almost all the services have, not all, but most services have Tesla superchargers. Well, all services have the EV chargers, but Tesla superchargers are awesome, right? If you're on any other vehicle, the maximum most chargers are 50K. So you would be spending at least an hour or maybe 2 hours, depending on how much charging you want. But if you're driving a Tesla, you would be spending 15 minutes to maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. If you're going from absolutely like less than 10% to 90% or whatever. If you're doing long drives and if you're looking at a non-Tesla option, I wouldn't recommend it. Absolutely, I wouldn't recommend it, right? Yes, I have seen and I have heard horrible stories. The technology on most cars are not on par with Tesla. If Tesla's, if your Tesla is saying you have 50% charging left, 150 miles to go, you would get 150, nearly 150 miles. It's very accurate. Maybe you get 140, but again, based on your driving style and then climate control you have enabled and all that. But any other cars, the range, the technology, and the charging infrastructure, you might think, oh, okay, if I am running out of charging, then I would go and charge somewhere else. But the problem is it takes a long time. That's where you get frustrated, and that's where you think, it would have been much easier if it's a diesel or petrol car. I would just fill up in 2 minutes and go, right? But if you're charging outside, it's going to take an hour or two based on where you are, how much charging is left. So that's another thing I just wanted to say. For longer drives, any non-Tesla option, I wouldn't recommend it. But that's me, right? That's my personal opinion. So that's the advantage, right? Charging network and the charging time. That's the advantage of Tesla. But if you are within the town, if you're just looking for commuting, going to the office, coming back, maybe going to the shopping, groceries and whatnot, then any EV will do. Hopefully you are charging at home. You have charger at home. Sometimes the mid-terrace houses and the apartments, you can't get chargers, but some apartments are providing the community chargers. Even you can charge with your council chargers, Charge Place Scotland if you're in Scotland. But the problem is, wherever the chargers you go out with your home, they're going to take a long time, and also there are expenses involved. If you're charging at home, it's the ideal solution. You pay less and you just plug it in and you forget, and you go back in the morning, your car is fully charged, right? So that's what I would recommend. If you are commuting, if it's the purpose is just for the commuting, you can buy any EV. But if you are driving longer than Tesla, other advantage, as I said, with Tesla is it has longer range, and once you charge, you can probably use it for a week or two, maybe, depending on how you're driving and how far you're driving. I have my Model 3. I charge once in 10 days, couple of weeks. That's enough for me. I do probably 150 miles per week. I haven't been doing as much as I used to do. So that does for me. But if you have a charger at home, it shouldn't be a concern. I don't have a charger at home, so I have to charge at my workplace, which is very recent. They install the chargers. If not, I used to go to the Tesla superchargers in Aberdeen. I hope that helps. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe and give it a like. Cheers.